sweethearts, Candy here. First of all, I have to apologize for the long hiatus in videos, and I hope you guys will continue to sub to me anyway, just because you like my art and content, because I can't always produce new videos just because I have a 3-year-old and things get pretty hectic at my house. At the moment with this virus, he hasn't been at daycare either, so that makes it especially hard to do voice recordings for you guys, even though I kind of like doing them now. This is an unscripted and well overdue video, and I just hope you guys can bear with me. I'm not using my usual microphone because it just picks up all the sounds in the house, and I got kids' cartoons playing, and this is probably just going to be a ranty, talking, casual kind of video. I haven't scripted out anything. So as you might have noticed, my style's been drastically changing, and that's mainly due to I started to feel really stuck where I was. I was doing Pokemon, and I enjoyed doing Pokemon for a long time, but as some of you probably know who have followed me from the start, and probably some of you don't know who are new here, I had some bullying issues in the fan art community when I started doing Pokemon, but that's a whole nother story that I don't really want to talk about. I was getting this weird depression, like a heavy feeling on my chest every time I was making an art piece, and it started to make me not love Pokemon as much as I previously had, and I was at a point where I just knew that if I kept going, I'm going to lose love for something that I really enjoy, and I didn't want to do that. It also felt like a chore, and art shouldn't feel like a chore, as much as I was a bit worried that maybe if I changed what I do, I wouldn't have as many interested people, which hasn't been the case. You guys have been great and supportive, and I couldn't ask for better people, and I'm so glad of this little community that we've built. And I'm so happy that you guys are just so amazing and supportive. Anyway, off topic, back to what I was talking about. So I have always really loved drawing people for my whole life, since I was a kid, since high school. When I first started drawing, I just drew anime girls over and over again. Back in the 90s or early 2000s, when I started drawing that stuff, I'd only really watched anime on TV. I didn't really have books or anything. I never even really thought to ask my mum to buy me books to do with anime or how to draw or anything. I never ever used reference. I used to just draw out of my brain, and whatever would come out of my pen is what would end up on my paper, because I have what's called aphantasia, which some of you probably know about, and if you don't know about it, it's just I can't visualize anything inside my brain. So it's like if I try and make a picture in my head, it's just black. I thought, when people said about like that visualization, imagine you're on a beach, I thought that was a metaphorical thing. I really thought it wasn't real. My partner thought I was crazy when I told him that. He's like, everyone could see things in their head. I'm like, no. Yeah, I can get a faded, vague thing, but it's not like I can't see it inside my head. I don't know. You guys are lucky if you can do that, because I think knowing about it now, it probably makes designing an art piece harder, because I can't imagine. I can imagine bits and pieces. Like I can think, physically, this is going to have a bow in her hair, she's going to have rainbow hair, but I won't know what it looks like until I draw it. So yeah, I don't really know how to explain it very well. That's probably like my best way of explaining it. And now going off topic again, and that's most likely because I have ADHD. So if I go on tangents and off the topic of what I'm talking about, that's probably why. But anyway, so I love drawing people and anime and stuff, even though I didn't really have any references or anything. I don't know how I got my anatomy looking okay. Looking back on some of those drawings, I'm like, how did I even know what a person looked like? Because now I just heavily used references to learn, and that's okay. While you're learning, you need to look at that stuff, especially if you're like me and you can't visualize things inside your head. So you might have seen on my channel and on my Instagram I started off just drawing real people. I've done this before, I've done portrait stuff before, but this was mainly just so that I could work out anatomy and things, you know, learn the rules before you break them. I'm still learning, I still consider myself a beginner. I've only been drawing people again for a few months now, like 4 months or something, and I'm pretty happy with how much I've improved. I'd like to improve some more. I'm settling in on a style, as you guys might have seen. I like this curvy lady body style. So I'm really enjoying what I'm working on now, and now I'm able to produce my content at a more consistent rate, and I have a plan in place for once in my life, which consistency has been one of the biggest things for me that's been really hard with my ADHD. But now, after such a long time, I've finally been able to get a diagnosis and medication, and it's helped me focus so much. I pretty much just need to write a list at the start of the day, and one thing that is still hard and I still struggle with is sometimes just finding the motivation to get started is really hard for people with ADHD. It's like you physically can't start. And I try and force myself. My brain's telling my body, go do your art, you love doing your art. Once I get started, things have been so much quicker now on the medication. I've been able to sit there and maintain focus, which I can to an extent, but I didn't even realize how much I was getting distracted before, because my most recent art piece, which is the one with the rainbow like pastel-y sort of hair, Autumn, I was actually able to sit there for 20 minutes and do a drawing and a line art, and I do these like fancy little edits, you've probably seen them on my Instagram, of like the highlights and the line art and a glowy thing. I was able to do all of that in 20 minutes and flat colours in another 20 minutes, which flat colours used to take me the longest time and I hated doing it. So yeah, I would say it took me 40 minutes all up to do those 2 hard stages of the drawing, and then the last stage is simply just the shading of the shadows and everything. That stage is probably my favourite and the most fun of it all. But yeah, I've been so much more productive. I sat there yesterday and did a Copic marker drawing in 6 hours. I also used watercolours for the background, and it was such a fun mixed media experience. And something I just wanted to address really quick, it's not going to influence what I do either way, but I've noticed that digital art isn't as popular. I don't really understand why, because pencils and digital medium take me about the same amount of time, and they definitely take the same level of skill, and everything that I do with pencil I design digitally first, so it doesn't make sense to me, but I guess I can understand why people put more value on a pencil piece, like the physical piece, because there's only one. But I just don't have the time to do pencils anymore, because it takes me hours and I have to sit at another table, and I can't do that with a toddler running around because he pinches my pencils and just makes everything really difficult for me. So I guess it's just for now. If I'm honest, I don't enjoy making the pencil drawings as much because of how distracting everything is, but I will be opening up 2-3 spots for fan art commissions with pencil drawing once every 2 months, so over 6 months I'll do 3 pieces, because I felt like you guys feel like you're missing out, because you guys really seem to like those pieces, and I don't want to just stop doing something that you guys love, because I really appreciate you guys and I wouldn't be anything without you. And I don't want to like cut off my leg, if that makes sense. Cutting off my nose to spite my face, I don't know, cutting off my income source, because yeah, that's like extra money. Those pieces will be expensive because of the time and materials and my level of skill, and that's just the way that it's going to be, because I feel like those pieces are worth it. So they'll be 200 Australian dollars, which I think US dollars is less than that at the current conversion rate. I can tell you the current conversion rate, but it does change, so this will be a rough price. Yeah, so that will be 140 USD, I won't take the full amount at once, so that piece could take me up to 2 months. That's just something I'm going to be working on the side, and it's not going to take away from the portrait art that I'm doing. With those pieces, well, with all my pieces, you pay a 50% deposit up front. This is just to cover me because I've had people just not pay at the end, and I just don't want any of that mess. So anyway, it would cost 200 AUD or 140 USD, which would mean 70 USD upfront if you're in the US, and when I finish the piece, then you'll pay the rest of it plus shipping and handling. If you're in Australia, I will pay for the shipping. It's just that I have to get these original pieces tracked, because if you lose them, there's only one, and I can't replace that. And I wouldn't want you guys to lose something that you paid so much money for. So I guess the point of this video was just to update you on where I'm at with everything, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed watching my time-lapse in the background, which I had a lot of fun drawing. And yeah, I usually use the same sort of process for everything. In saying that, I have a weird brain, and this is what works for me, so it may not work for you, but I did get some requests to do anatomy videos. The reason that I haven't done those yet is because I still feel like I'm learning anatomy. I don't feel like I'm a total expert in that area yet, and I don't know when I will feel like that. So when I feel like that, I will try and make a video for you guys explaining, I guess, how I draw anatomy. But right now I'm drawing curvy girls, so I don't know if you want to learn that, or, you know, you're better off learning actual people first, like learn the rules before you break them like I did. And yeah, I can show you basic things on like how to make a piece look cohesive. I can try and explain how I choose colors, but a lot of the time it's instinct. I'm not very good at planning things, so I'm not sure how well I'll be able to explain it in a way that you'll understand. Maybe if there's people that have similar brains to me. I know a lot of artists have ADHD, so maybe that can be my thing. Maybe I'll be artist guides for people with ADHD who can't pay attention for too long. Anyway, that's about it for this video, and I really appreciate all of you guys. I love you so much. If you like my videos, please subscribe, please turn on the notification bell, and like and comment to help my posts get more reach. That would be really great. I appreciate every like and every comment. I know there was a video that got 14,000 views and I didn't reply to all the comments because I got distracted and then they were there for months, and I felt like, yeah, it's been too long to reply to them now. But I try to reply to everyone anyway, and a lot of my videos don't get that many comments with digital art, and that's okay. I know that we'll get there again. It's kind of like starting from scratch, and I said I was ending this video and it's ending now. I swear. Bye. I love you.